Kia ora everybody, my name is Darroch Ball. I'm a New Zealand First List MP. I'm based in Palmerston North in Manawatu. I'm here representing New Zealand First and the leader, Right Honourable Winston Peters, who couldn't make it today. There's a couple of things that I'd like to say. The first is that it's already been mentioned that one of my main portfolios is youth affairs. I also have social services as well. So I'd like to take that, or this opportunity to have a little bit of perspective in that sort of a view. Calvin mentioned prisons and the makeup of prisons, and I think one of the major issues that we've got right now that it seems not many people are aware of is that just under half of all current adult prisoners have previously been through the youth justice system. And if we're looking at asking ourselves whether the youth justice system is working, we need to have a look at the proportion of those who end up as adult prisoners. And that proportion is actually increasing, and it has been increasing slowly over the last 5 years to 8 years. So if we're going to start addressing issues in prison, if we're talking about rehabilitation, reintegration, if we're talking about the fact that 40% of all Māori in there are there for drug-related issues, then we must be looking back even earlier at our youth and how they're being dealt with and how they've been treated within the youth justice facility, not only facilities, as we've heard in the media lately, but actually the system itself. And if you take a step back further than that, our chronically high youth unemployment rate, our chronically high youth disengagement rate, I'm sure that it's been, you've heard in the media at the moment, we've got around, constantly over the last sort of decade or more, 70 to 80,000 youth who are not in any sort of education, employment or training. This is the foundation to where we heard the CEO, I believe it's the CEO of the New Zealand Drug Foundation, who said it happened, his troubles started a long time before he picked the needle up. And that's where it all stems from. And if we're talking about investment, if we're talking about wanting to care about the outcomes and what's happening today in our society, we really need to heavily invest in our youth and those systems around those youth, and especially those vulnerable youth, to stop them from going on that pathway in the first place. In regards to decriminalisation or legalisation of marijuana, I think it's very important that that people understand that there's two, and I think there's two topics here. One is medicinal marijuana, and one is the recreational use of marijuana. Obviously, in the last sort of couple of years or so, more and more, the debate of medicinal marijuana or using marijuana for medicinal purposes has become quite a focus on the debate. And New Zealand First has a stance that there's quite a difference between what medicinal marijuana is and what using marijuana for medicinal purposes is. So we're talking about the products or well, I think it's the products, there'll be another word for it, it doesn't come to my head at the moment, that the marijuana is used for, so the medicinal marijuana. And we believe fully in supporting the research into the use of medicinal marijuana and the benefits of that. In regards to legalisation or decriminalisation of marijuana itself, we have always held firm that it shouldn't be up to temporarily empowered politicians to make decisions on which impact the social fabric of the society. So this is a very important issue. That's why we're all here today. That's why it's in the media today and has been increasing over the last couple of years. It shouldn't be up to temporarily empowered politicians to make a decision on a conscious vote about whether we should legalise or decriminalise marijuana. We believe that that should go to the people after a very informed debate about the pros, the cons, about the benefits and perhaps some of the downfalls of that as well. And then it's up to the people to decide. And that's New Zealand First stance. Thank you very much.